Seconds. Boom. Hold on. All right, we are live, but I just want to mess with this to try to bring it down a little bit. All right, bet. All right, yeah. So everybody, be patient with me. It's my first time doing it on the phone. I usually do it on the computer, but now StreamYard is allowing us to do it on the phone, which is fire. So I have it set up. I'm here with my boy AJ Laws, who's actually one of the main contributors in the book. He wrote some fire letters. He was very original with his stuff because he even threw in, and I'll let him share more about it. He shared like some poetry pieces, which was very different from what some of the other authors of the book had offered at the time. I think you and who else?
Tariq.
Tariq, y'all both kind of mixed it up with a little bit of the poetry because he has a background in that.
Right, right.
He wrote a book. And then you, that's just a passion of yours. So
Absolutely.
I think that's dope because I'm someone that loves spoken word and poetry as well. So to read through y'all letters, but to read them in that form, it's like it was painting a very vivid picture in my mind. So, um, welcome everybody. This is I Love You. This is a live stream. Like I told y'all before, I'm going to have different conversations with contributors of the book. If you haven't pre-ordered your copy, please do so. The links above. But yeah, we're just gonna have a quick conversation. Just really gaining the understanding of where AJ was mentally when he wrote his letters. You know, what were the things he was thinking about? Who was he directing this to? Because that's the purpose of having so many different contributors, because we're all speaking directly to someone else.
Right.
Like I have a target person in mind when I was writing my letters, a very target person. I knew exactly who I was talking to, and someone else may have been talking to another young black boy. So for me, I want to gain understanding on where was everybody at mentally, and really speaking on the diversity of everybody's letters. So for you, like I said, you had some poetry in there, which I thought was super dope.
Right.
And
Thanks.
yeah, yeah, man, it was dope. It made me want to write. So I was like, that's corny if I write like same thing. So I was like, let me keep mine's original.
Right.
I actually went back and rewrote some letters after I read everybody's. I was like, dang, you know what? Let me add a little bit more. But
Right.
so where were you at mentally? Like when I initially was like, yo, can you do this or whatever? Where were you at when you were writing these letters? Like, what were you?
Um. Well, it's kind of. I would say that you caught me at a good time, and I say that because I was kind of in that space already. Whether it was because of my job, and I know I talked to you before. Like the reason why I took on a job in law enforcement wasn't to slapping the cuffs on people. I wanted to make a change. I mean, obviously, putting cuffs on people is a part of comes with
Come
that
with the
as well.
territory.
Come with the territory.
Come with the territory.
But I want to make a change. I want the youth in the community that I come from to know that it's okay. That those heroes that used to be heroes in the past are those heroes again. Like, look to me instead of the guy on the corner. You know what I mean? Look to me instead of somebody else that's steering you in the wrong direction. You know what I mean? I wanted to be that role model again and allow these other kids to know that this is another outlet for you. And then you can come be who I am to you, to another kid. You know what I mean? So it was more about the savior factor. It wasn't about the check for me. It was about my passion to help people. And like I help, I mean, I do the whole working out and the fitness stuff too, as far as helping people. That's just my passion in general.
Yeah,
like,
yeah.
I just want to help people, and this was the avenue that I took to do it. So that's what I mean when I say you kind of caught me at a perfect time, because me and the job that I have now, and the stuff that I deal with every day, I get to see the youth in general, not just our youth, but the youth in general, and the direction that they're going in a lot.
Mm-hmm.
But I will say, to be honest, like I did a letter to Young King, and then did a letter to Baby Boy,
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
and I'm gonna be honest, a lot of my pieces that I wrote for the book were actually reaching out to people of my generation, people of my age group, because it's like every day you still see somebody searching.
Mm.
You know what I mean? Still a lot of us 30, 31, 32, 35 years old still
Facts.
searching.
That's the truth, though.
You know what I mean? And am I telling you that my pieces that I wrote are the key for that change? Absolutely not. But if it can be any type of catalyst or stimulus that could change your mind on where you are, then that's what my intent was.
That's good. That's good. And I want people to understand that, right? Because it says letters of love from black men and black boys. But when I say that, I'm speaking of all dynamics. So it's boys, 7 to 11 years old. It's teenagers. It's grown men. I was just talking to Les about this. About yo, a lot of us have gone through these certain traumas, and the reason that we still are suffering from it is because we haven't addressed the younger version of ourselves. So it's like I remember Les telling me something about what him and his dad. He said they had this conversation. And he felt like the younger version of himself that was hurt got up and walked out the room. And it's like, yo, and he's 31 or whatever. It's like, yo, that just happened. So even though, like I said, the title has letters of love from black men to black boys, I believe it's for black males in general, and I think that that's powerful that you spoke to us that way. And I was, I'm reading everybody's letters, and in my mind, I'm trying to picture like, all right, who are they talking to? Is it this age group, this age group? Who was it? And I'm trying to picture it. So to hear that after I, personally read your letters, went through them, it's like that's dope to hear. And now that you said it, I can put two and two together. Like, okay, that makes sense.
Right.
Because this is more advanced than it would be for 11-year-old.
Right,
but it's okay, and that's the beauty of having 13 contributors to the book, including myself.
And 5 pieces per.
Yeah, because what it does is it gives something for everybody.
Absolutely.
Every background.
Because
every storyline.
I know I even on the one piece called A Natural High. It was a spoken word that I wrote, and that was talking straight at the guy whose dreams have been shot down. Straight at the guy who said that I can't make money this way, so I gotta go do it this way. I was talking directly to him. I was talking to even the kid that's a star on his basketball team, but something happens in life that brings that to a halt, or that gets in the way. I was talking directly to that kid, pretty much letting you know that you gotta keep shooting here. Keep shooting here, keep shooting high at all times, and don't allow your environment or your experiences to determine your future. Don't say because my dad was a kingpin that's the only way that I know. Because there's so many other avenues that you can go.
It's a choice.
It's a choice.
It's a choice.
And is it hard to make that choice in certain environments around certain people? Absolutely. But that's why you got scissors. Cut them off. Yeah. That's the thing we got to get. I feel like as I'm still in the young generation, but just in general, as people, we got to know how to cut ties. Like, I knew going into the job that I'm in now. Wow, it was something that was pretty much established at a young age, where my dad kind of enforced it. Like, you're not going to do what everybody else is doing. You're not going to wear your clothes like everybody else. You know what I mean? At some point, we're going to establish some type of leadership, and maybe people can follow you. You know what I mean? But when I talk about cutting ties, I mean, everybody gonna have a group of friends that they had since they were younger.
Oh yeah.
And obviously, in that group of friends, everybody's not gonna stay on the same path.
Yeah, even though you think they are.
Right. Y'all might have all started off playing on the same little league basketball team, and for all you knew, everybody was into basketball. But now that y'all getting older, some of them guys, they may still show up at the court. But you're not seeing them same guys as much no more. Yeah, you ain't seen them at the court, but you seen them on the corner. Then you might have somebody else who you ain't seen at the court, but you seen them in the library studying engineering. And then you know what I mean? Like, everybody takes their different paths, but for those who are in your circle that's constantly motivating, uplifting you, and taking you, like, y'all pretty much sharpening iron, you know what I mean? Sharpening each other, and keep them around. Like, it's all good.
That's good.
Being in that place that fulfills you, whether it's a church or where you just hold a fellowship between your boys, being in that space, keep them around, keep that environment around. But when you start putting yourself in a bad environment, evil communication corrupt good manners. So it's like, you start surrounding yourself with that type of energy, then even if you are not that, you'll get depicted as that.
Yeah.
Even if you're not that, subconsciously you're being influenced by that. You know what I mean? So it just come down to knowing how to cut ties. And when I say cut ties, I'm not telling you to tell your friends that you hate them and you can't deal with them.
Yeah, no, I ain't.
It's simply, I'm in a different space in my life right now, man. If you want to get on board, I'm open for it.
Yeah, and you can't invest that kind of time.
I'm telling you, I got a whole lot of rope to help pull you up, brother.
Yeah.
But I promise you, I can't let you pull me down.
That's deep. That's deep. That's real right there, though. It's like, man, I have to progress, and I want to present this opportunity to you as well. But it's like, yo, I can't slow down either.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? It's not personal, but it's like, this is my life at the end of the day.
Absolutely.
And yeah, that's dope, man. And it sounds like a combination of like life experiences plus what you're currently doing now led to the product of what you poured into those letters.
Absolutely.
Like experiences that you may have had, good or bad,
Right.
led to like, okay, this is what I'm gonna share. And I guess that's my question I want to ask is like, what are the things, growing up from adolescence up until, as an adult now, what are the things or a thing, whatever it is, what do you feel like you were missing that you want to contribute? Because I know for me, it's like it was a lot that I was missing that I wanted, that I yearned for.
Right.
And that led to me producing the book or doing whatever I'm doing now is because it was a void that was missing. It's like, I don't want that for you.
Right.
So I'm going to step up in this position. So for you, it's like, what was that thing or what is currently that thing right now that's inspiring the work you're doing, and how you just live your everyday life that you may have been missing as a kid? And, your dad's a great dad. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Oh, my God.
No,
Got it. Yeah, your dad was a great dad. You know what I'm saying? Mr. Laws, he that dude. But what were, maybe that thing that you're like, man, if I had this.
See, and I'll be honest. Like, I don't know. I wouldn't necessarily. I just literally talked to my pop about this, and this is nothing against my old heads or the guys that I call my old heads, but because my dad put forth such a strong personality, that alpha male being, this is what we're doing and we're gonna do it right. We're gonna win by any means. You know what I mean? Not by any means like that, but you know what I mean? Like, we're gonna go get this.
Like locked in.
We was locked in. I've been locked in. I had to be locked in from the time I was like, I started competing at 5 years old, but I really got into it at like 7 and 8. And we were locked in, up 5:30 in the morning, whatever like that. So, and I didn't, these are things that were instilled in me. So my view and the things that I put on paper and stuff like that is more the stuff that I seen close to home and not necessarily within my home. Mm-hmm. Like, my house was the house on the street that everybody came to. Mm-hmm. Like, I know I had friends and stuff that dealt with abuse at home and that dealt with domestic stuff at home or whatever like that. And I would notice it, or you would realize what people going through at home when the second that they come to your house and just lay down and sit down on your couch, they just sit down on the couch and they fall asleep. And you look at this 15-year-old, 13-year-old kid that's exhausted mentally and emotionally just from the things that they've seen. So a lot of that was, and I will say that God gave me that gift to be able to discern that and be able to see that at a young age, like, this person is going through something. My friend ain't just coming over here and tired going to sleep on the couch.
Yeah, fact.
Nah, my man's coming from some real stuff right now. You know what I'm saying? And that's why a lot of people used to ask me, like, man, you used to have everybody at your house. Like, you don't feel like that took away, like, the relationship with you and your parents or whatever like that? I said, absolutely not. I requested it. Wow. I mean, if y'all know my cousins, Alex, Alaric, Duke, Nia, listen, it was like 9 of us in the crib at one time. You know what I mean? And I loved every second of it. You know what I mean? Because I feel like it was like a camp. Everybody had like minds came together and we just got it done. You know what I mean? We was all on the same agenda. People's grades got better. You know what I mean? So
who you were surrounded by.
I was right. So, but it was also those people who didn't come to the house that you saw the stuff going on, and you see the result of what they went through in the past. Mm-hmm. Now, I got a lot of boys and stuff locked up and stuff for being in the wrong place at the wrong time. Same. That I've had such conversations like we having right now about just make the change, cut ties, lead a game. You know what I mean? Those simple conversations, and sometimes they couldn't shake it. Why? Because having me as a friend to guide that direction wasn't as good as if their father or father figure could have.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
That's the tough part.
So it wasn't necessarily what went on necessarily in my household that caused me to put what I put on paper or to be the catalyst behind a lot of my words, but it was more the things I seen on the outside, the things that came into my home. Like, my home was the outlet. So I was able to see that grief, that hurt, all that stuff, because they were coming from it. And we at my house, we were repairing it. I mean, obviously God doing the work.
Yeah,
but
you was
my
able to
house
see
was
transformation.
the my house was the transformation.
Yeah,
place.
it was like the what do they call it? The hospital for humanity.
Yeah,
You was
like,
able to see that right there.
I remember when Duke Dad came to the house with Duke bags packed. Yo, Unc, you got to take him. His boy just got shot in the head last night.
Wow.
This how real. This how.
Wow.
This is here.
That's
here
how
you go.
real it is.
Yeah, you
That's
know what
how
I'm saying.
real
So
it is.
it's that right there where it's like, dang. So that was more what I was putting on paper. Like, it's always been a group of people.
That's crazy. It made me think like, and just in that scenario right there, it's like he dropped him off there, you know, where y'all is at, and he transformed it into who he is now.
Mm-hmm.
But it's like, man, what happens if he's still in that environment,
Right.
and he don't get dropped off?
Yeah. And it's when you don't have that person that say, I'm not allowing you to.
Yeah.
I'm not going to bury you. You got to have a parent that's going to say that to you outright. I'm not burying my son, and it's going to, whatever it's going to take, right? And I ain't even going to put his name out there or whatever right now. But I was just talking to a kid, and he knows where he wants to go, directional wise, and has everything set up to do it. If he was to not get what he wants, it's going to be all on him, because his mom is one of those moms that say, you're not going to blow this. You want to go ride dirt bikes, do whatever you do, I'm taking it. You want to go do this, I'm taking it. I'm going to strip you down to nothing until you realize that this is all you have and this is all we're working towards. You know what I mean? But we don't, it's nothing against them.
Yeah. No.
It's not a whole lot of those parents like doing that no more. You got parents out here scared of their kids.
Oh, facts.
Because their kids so happen to be in the streets.
That's the bulk of parents that I talk to.
Yeah.
And it's just, to me, it's like, when did the switch happen?
Right.
I ain't that old to where it's like stuff changed that fast right under my face. Like, dang, when did this happen?
Absolutely.
Where certain morals and things went out the window. And
I think it started with words. Like, it started with the way that parents started allowing their kids to get away with. It started with those small things. I got away with saying it. I got away with saying it this way. I got away with saying
so long.
Yeah instead of yes. And then yes went from be quiet, mom, to shut up, mom. And then shut up, mom went from, you know what I mean?
It went from a joke like, oh, he just be joking, whatever. So it's like, hold on.
I got away with that.
And you do it over and over. Now you expect it, and it's like, I'm not changing.
It's literally the inch and take a yard scenario.
Wow.
And I feel like that's what happens a lot. Like, you give kids a little bit of room, and they take that room and then they just go wherever they want with it. And the thing is that the thing that parents got to realize is playing a major part is the street.
It's huge.
You know what I mean? Like, the street's probably raising your kids. In school, like, the outside environment raising your kids more than you are. So every moment that you get with that kid, you got to make it count.
And that's why, and not even to turn the conversation, but that's why I was so frustrated when I went to, and I won't say the school, but I went to the school and just talking with the principal, and they're like, yo, none of the parents came to the parent-teacher conference. Like, zilch out of all the students. Yeah. It's just like, bruh, they with your kids more than you are. Right. You ain't concerned whatsoever about what's going on, what's happening. You don't want to know nobody's name. Mm-hmm. It's like you see them in the morning for a brief second, and then in the evening when they get home, y'all have dinner, and then they gone. Like, you don't really even know who your kid is.
Sleep time don't count.
Sleep time don't count. Like, you really don't even know who your kid is.
Exactly.
And it's like, for me, it's like, I have to be involved in all of that. Like, I need to know what's going on, because we raising, our child together. Like, we raising this together, and we have to do this as a community. And I feel as though we got far, far away from that.
Absolutely.
And
I remember the parent-teaching conference was huge when I was a kid.
Yeah, it was popping.
Like,
that joint was popping.
Yo, like,
you shook if
you hear the parents on the phone together. You going to the conference tonight, whatever. And it's just like, that was the thing.
It was a real thing.
You know what else is the kicker now? And I can say it because I'm a young parent. You got a lot of young parents nowadays, and they still caught up in their life, what I need to do, things that I never got to do. Instead of saying, now I have to raise someone else. Dang, I can't go to, you telling me I can't go to Vegas because I got to go to my summer performance?
And you put, see, that's
you know what I'm saying? Like,
it's like, it was cool when it was
I had to do this, so I can't do this. Now, to those parents, those parents is out there working, so they can't make it, or whatever the situation may be. Understandable. You grind and do whatever it is that you got to do. But for those who just not showing up.
Yeah.
Like, I've coached kids, and their parents never seen them compete. I've coached kids who not only were the best in the county and the best in the state, but they were the best in the country. Their parents didn't know.
Wow.
Their parents didn't know they had a drawer full of letters from colleges. That's the, you know what I mean? And I feel like that's where a lot of us get lost.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I mean? I done seen, especially on the job, I done seen the biggest gangsters break down and cry. There's a void that needs to be filled. And a lot of time, I love you is enough. I love you is enough. Because it's hard. It's a step. And when I say enough, I mean enough to start to change.
Oh, for sure.
Enough to see, like,
for sure.
Hold up, like I saw that little boy in the video when you was talking to him. And his face, like when you said it, like a lot of kids are probably like, for real?
Mm-hmm.
Or you get a lot of kids like, Dad, my dad ain't never even said that to me. Like I ain't know like that was all right for a guy to say that to a guy. You got young boys out there like that right now that don't know that it's okay to say to you.
They don't know how to receive it either.
Yo, when I say, listen, I can call somebody while we on here now, and my boys, when we get off the phone, y'all love you, bro. See you later. Why? Because guess what? After I hang up, I don't really know how it's gonna go.
I really don't know.
I don't. I gotta walk outside still. He gotta walk outside. Y'all love you, man. And it's not even because of what's to come next. It's just because I do. You know what I mean?
And that's huge. And that's what, you know, in closing, it's like, that's what I want this really to represent, man. It's starting a conversation, but it's also a tool for making the change that we all see needs to actually happen. Absolutely. Like you said, scenarios like that, where it's like, I don't even know if this is comfortable for me to say to you. It's like, why is this not normal for this to happen?
Right.
Why is it not? The thing that blows my mind is like, why is it not normal for me to receive love from another man, another brother? It's like, why is that not normal again? Yeah. It's something that I desperately need. Yeah. Why is it not normal for me to have it?
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? And for me, it's more so making this something comfortable. You know what I'm saying? Like you said, when you with your boys, you jump off the phone, yo, love you. All right, man, love you too. I don't know what's going to happen the rest of the day.
Right.
I don't want to have that regret. I don't want to have that in my spirit. And then at the same time, it's like, yo, I really love you. Like, as my brother, all that stuff. Like, I care about you.
Right.
Genuinely. And a lot of our, especially black males, because the way society paints us, we don't know that anybody cares about us. We feel like everybody hates us.
Yeah.
And it's like, yo, if nobody going to love on us, let's at least love each other. Absolutely. You know what I'm saying? So I think that that's huge. We're going to continue to push that, make steps in the right direction, man. I definitely appreciate, you know, you taking the time out to do this because, you know, people got busy lives, man. This dude's a machine, y'all. Like, he work out. I don't know how he sleep. Like, my body, I'd be in the hospital, bro. But this is a really solid dude, man. When I prayed on who should be in this, let me grab it. I got you. When I prayed on who should be a part of this project, because originally I was going to just have myself, and then God placed it on me to bring in other men. He brought you very vividly amongst the first few men that I thought about. So that's why it was important for me to reach out. And I'm reaching out to people like, man, I don't know if they're going to say yes or not, but everybody God placed on my heart, they responded and they stepped up to the cause. So it's huge.
That's why, I know I mentioned it at the beginning. I know you closing out, but that's what I meant, like perfect timing. Like I was in the right space. Obviously, I was just talking about this in the sermon that we talked about, being in the right position. I was in the right position to receive what you was bringing so that somebody else can receive what I'm giving. You know
that's heavy, bro.
Yeah.
That's heavy right there. Hope y'all ain't missed that. That's heavy right there. That's real. And I believe in things happening in divine order. And it's just, there's no mistake how all of this is like rolling out right now during the time that it is. Because this was placed on my heart a little while ago, and it took a process of me going through a season of learning some things, experiencing some things, going through my own experiences with some other black boys and black men, going to conferences, learning, meeting a professor who really opened my mind to dive in deep on a subject matter. 2 professors actually who really expanded my mind and introduced me to other people. Like, I don't know if you ever heard the story about Khalif Browder. He was in Rikers Island, the one they had locked up. And he ended up killing himself when he got out, I think like 2 years after, from like mental health issues. But long story short, I ended up connecting with his brother, who runs his whole nonprofit at Rowan University. And we connected, talked, and it just, all these things were being poured into me and downloaded into me, which led to this project that we have now. And like I told people, I say it all the time, this is just a tool and a resource. and a guide that, one, I wish that I had, and I'm sure that the other authors wish that they had as well growing up, especially in the world we live in now. But this is just the very beginning of what's going to happen, man. It's going to be conferences, it's going to be different movements. And I appreciate all of you tapping in. If you can, please, not even if you can, I don't know, I'm asking you, please share this live stream. Whether you're watching live or you're just watching on the replay, please share. This is extremely important. If you support me, if you support the movements, do so by sharing. Make sure to pre-order a copy. Look, even if you don't have a son, you know what I'm saying? Purchase it for somebody else.
Right.
Gift it to somebody else. You know what I'm saying? This is about love in general. This is about creating a movement of positivity. This is about creating a pipeline of success. And this is going to be one of those resources. So I appreciate y'all tapping in, man. I appreciate my dude AJ, man. This isn't the last time he's going to be on here. We're going to have him do some other stuff too.
Yeah.
Because he got some stuff to share, man. But we only had a brief minute right now. So again, I appreciate y'all tapping in, and stay tuned. I'm going to have some more guests. We got some other content coming out, and I have some special announcements that are coming along with the book release and everything. So again, I appreciate y'all, love y'all, and I'll talk with you soon.